Alright, so today we want to talk about intervals as their relation to chords and how they really work. Now, an interval as we know it is a distance between 2 points, point A and probably point B if we're talking about direction. In terms of notes, the interval has to do with from one note to the next. So we can have what is happening between them. So if we should put this on a score sheet, let's put our treble clef, and let's say for example from F to C, what the interval relationship is, right? Immediately you think 5, and then we can talk about what kind of a fifth is it. Usually we talk about intervals. We can have intervals that are major, intervals that are minor, intervals that are diminished, and intervals that are augmented. So 4 types. And in the whole creation of chords, chords are based on intervals. And chords are stacked on thirds. And what the distance is, if it's big or small, that will determine the type of chord or the type of interval, for example. All right? So, F to C, it's an interval of a fifth, and usually it's a perfect interval. If we should change this, and we say from F to A, immediately you should be thinking that's a third. And based on the spacing, you know that's a third. If it's a major third, you will be correct, right? It's a major third. If I should put an accidental there on either one, and usually when we read interval is usually from the lowest note, so we read interval from F to A. If I should put this here, that accidental, which is a flat, is that making the interval bigger or smaller? If you said bigger, you are wrong. So this is making it smaller. So now we have an interval of a third, and it's from F to A flat. F to A is a major third. If we should make it smaller, it now becomes a minor third. So from F to A flat, that's a minor third. Now we have several types of intervals that we work with. We have what we call melodic intervals and harmonic intervals. This reading is what you call a melodic interval because it's moving from here to here. So it's going that way. If I should put it like this, it's still a third, but now it's a harmonic interval. And we read just the same, F to A. Quickly, that's interval. So accidentals make them either larger or smaller. Now in terms of chords, and we talk about triads. Triads is a 3-note chord. A triad is a 3-note chord based on thirds. And usually we talk about 1, 3, and 5, which is right. So if we have this, we know that's a chord. Which chord is it? It's an F major chord. How we know it's an F major chord? Because a major chord comprises 2 sets of thirds, which the first set is a major third, and then it's followed by a minor third. That's how we know the chord is major. If we have another set of chords, and we have this here, this now becomes a minor chord because this interval constitutes a minor third, and then from here to here, it's a major third. So from F to A flat, that's a minor third. From A flat to C, that's a major third. So it's a minor third followed by a major. If we have here we're still F, it's still an F chord, but what type of chord is it now? So this is major, this is minor. So now let's talk about the thirds. From F to A, that's a major third, and from A to C sharp, is that major or minor? That's a major third. So if we have a triad that has two major thirds, that's an augmented chord. Or you see, sometimes it's just a plus sign. So F to A to C sharp, F, A, C sharp, that's an augmented triad. And then, if we have this, so look at the thirds now. So we're in F to A flat. What type of third is that? If we say minor third, you're correct. And then A flat to C flat, that's another minor third. So if you have a triad that has two minor thirds, that's a diminished triad. And there's dim dot, or there's a letter circle. So we have four types of triads: major, minor, augmented, diminished. The rule works the same in terms of position. So a triad has a root position, it has a first inversion, and it has a second inversion. And usually you can tell by looking in terms of how the stack is. So if I go down here, I'm using the same F here, is that root position. So you have the root is in the base, so I have F, A, C, so this is our root position. If I should throw the F up top, then this becomes a first inversion. So this one is, we have 5, 3, 1. Actually, let me write it under. So root position is usually 5, 3, 1. So I go 1 here, the third, the fifth. And what we have done here is put the 1 up top, so that becomes a first inversion. So the look of it, you see this stack here, and then another one. If we should change that, throw the top up again. Now we have a second inversion. Second inversion triad, which is, oh, we should do this one. So this one is, this is 1, 5, 3. And now we have 3, 1, 5. And those are the numbers. This is what you call figured base system. Based on the numbers on that, you know exactly what inversion it is, if it is not. So root position, first inversion, second inversion. And notice where the root note is. If the root is on top, you know that's its first inversion. If it's in the middle, it's second inversion. If it's in the bottom, that's a root position chord. And that's pretty much it about triads and how they relate to intervals. Yeah. See you next time.